Widespread protests have erupted in cities across the U.S. for a second day following the decision by a grand jury not to prosecute a white police officer for killing an unarmed black teenager. With more, we turn to Paul Lee at the News Center. Paul, there has been several key developments in the wake of Monday's announcement by the St. Louis prosecutor. Let's start with the protests. What's the latest on that front?
Well, crowds of demonstrators have returned to the streets of the American town of Ferguson, which has been left scarred in the wake of mass rioting. More than 12 commercial buildings have been burned to the ground, while another dozen cars were torched on Monday night. An additional 2,200 National Guard troops have since been deployed to the area to assist police. Speaking in Chicago on Tuesday, President Barack Obama strongly condemned the violence and said there was no excuse for the criminal acts. Instead, he appealed to the American public to engage in a constructive debate about racial tensions and law enforcement.
I have no sympathy at all for destroying your own communities, but for the overwhelming majority of people who just feel frustrated and pained because they get a sense that maybe some communities aren't treated fairly or some individuals aren't seen as worthy as others. I understand that. And I want to work with you, and I want to move forward with you.
And as I look back
Meanwhile, the police officer in question, Darren Wilson, broke his long public silence in a televised interview on ABC News on Tuesday. During the interview, Wilson defended himself, saying he feared for his life and that he could not have done anything differently.
And that's when he turned and said, I had reached out my window of my right hand to grab onto his forearm, because I was going to try and move him back and get out of the car to where I'm no longer trapped. And when I felt it, I just felt the immense power that he had. I mean, the way I've described it is, it was like a 5-year-old holding on to Hulk Hogan. That's just how big this man was.
The lawyer representing the family of Michael Brown has criticized the grand jury's decision not to indict Wilson on criminal charges for killing their 18-year-old son in August. They claim that the process was rigged from the start against minorities. But they also called on the public to refrain from violence and to protest in a peaceful manner.